We are back in action. Welcome back. This is going to be, I believe, part 4 of the streaming. Been doing pretty good at keeping this consistent. About 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I work on map making for about an hour, lace in a couple other little projects that might need attention during that time. I'll do a quick double check that the stream is indeed running, but it looks like it is. Perfect. Cool. I was just watching something and it made me think about, why is there no thing right there? That's interesting. Oh, it's there. It was just blended in. So the main area, we're probably going to just redo because while it is cool, there really wasn't much to it. And we can easily put something new there. In fact, what we can do is take the one below it, Shift D, GZ, and do like 50. And then SZ, I don't know, 0.2. Then another GZ, about 50. Do it again. And again. All right. So we got this nice big rock here. And what we're actually going to start doing is shaping it. So the main entrance area, I want to have it enclosed. I want to make it also double-sided, similar to one of the commentaries that I received. And that'll kind of do it with what I just did there. We could actually snap so that it's flush with the bottom. We could have also extruded, but regardless. So what we're going to do with this is first we're going to shrink the top. Just, maybe even to like there-ish. Where's my reference guy? There he is. And then we're going to go ahead and split him. So let's do like S Shift Z. And actually let's do SX and then like, we can do it by hand even. Oh, I'm on SX and we'll shrink this down pretty significantly. This is essentially one of the walls. And we can go ahead and just move this into place like that. And the general idea is that if I do it this way, I will have faces on both sides, which I think is better. As far as what we're going to do now, there's a couple things. We could extrude this, go up. Why aren't you? There we go. It's gross that the extrude messes with the geometry so badly, though. I kind of like the idea that the roof is actually going to be open, though. So let's keep it like that, and let's actually take out the... So I'll make more rock formations and kind of just design this little area like this, and I'll keep these walls pretty solid for the time being. Primarily because I want to kind of, oh, am I not? Later we'll cut through and make different shapes and stuff in this. But for now, this works. But this is just going to be a cleaner approach in general, I think. We can go ahead and RZ, what is it, 180? No, RZ 90. And then we can kind of just snap this into place over here-ish. Could just do that and then take this face. Do something like that, right? Because inside, this will look pretty decent. And outside, we can do some cleanup if we really care about, how accurate this is. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm not going to make solid objects unless you're not allowed to go inside of it. I'm just going to start geometry building like this because I can always merge objects or even just keep them apart because EQGCI during export turns us all into one big model anyways. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and cut a hole through this for getting into the actual formation. I might do a little bit of tweaking on this just to kind of give it some character. Like, I could move it in a little bit like this. Well, we're going to have some colliding. What that does is it adds a little character. Maybe I should wait on that actually. And there's a couple ways that we could edit this geometry. I think knife would be the cleanest. Remember there's a knife loop. Isn't there a loop cut option? I forgot. I haven't done it in a while. Yeah, edge loop. It's been a while. There is this, but I need an edge first. Which, you know, technically, if I take the whole object, I can't subdivide it. Well, what I could do is grab all sides, run a knife. Why am I remembering or not remembering how to do a cut? I guess easier is that we make a mesh. And let's say we scale Z by about 3 and scale Y by about, I don't know, 4 and scale X by like 5. And the idea is we can now use this to break open this area. This might work okay. I don't like the center being on the... Well, I could have put the origin on the bottom, but that's all right. This isn't going to be very clean either. And I know I'm kind of ADDing this morning, but that's all right. I'm going to go back to Soul Dungeon B. And I want to fix the drop hole too. Because I'm not sure why that solidified. Because this was supposed to be, you know, passable. But it could be because there's a leak in here. Like maybe this geometry isn't complete. Let's turn on face orientation. I might redo this whole part because I would rather... Yeah, I'll just redo it. I'll keep this, hide it. And what we're going to do... I may actually do the same sort of design I was doing earlier. So what I'll do is go to this view, Shift Z, take my new object, and basically, you can't see the cut very well when I do that, but that's all right. Let's just GY, move it over here. Let's make it a lot thinner on Z, or X. Let's make it like 0.1. We get this nice thin wall. And then let's go ahead and snap it by edge onto basically there. GX, GY. Not sure how clean the snap will be, but I can always put the geometry on by hand if I need to. So we can go here. Can I make it snap by increment? Yeah, it feels cleaner. And I can do the same over here. Boom. And I can do the same. That one's clean. Oh, it'd be this one. There we go. And then we can take the top face and do something like that. Then we can go to top view, Shift D, GY, GX, move it over here and do some checking again. Something like that. It doesn't have to be perfect yet. I'm just sort of priming it so that we now have some geometry here. Let's take this material, put on the weird purple one. Like so. Okay. Now, when I make the ground, there's a couple ways I could do that. For the time being, though, this should be fine. I need to think of how exactly, like, for example, if I take both of these, go into edit mode, how would I complete a face like this? Yeah, see, it doesn't let you do that. Can I make a face? Like fill? Nope. What about like advert? There's got to be a command for what I want to do right there. I've never really made geometry like that. I guess easier would be that you make a plane, you come back over here, and you just, or better yet, let's make it another cube. Because what I could always do is take off the faces on the side and just have it double-sided, but that's all right. We're just going to have complicated geometry. I don't think it'll be the end of the world. But, you know, I can snap that there, and move this down to there. Move this, like, down to about here. We can have geometry like that. That'll just at least let you not see through it as well. This feels like a lot of work. It would honestly be easier just to solidify. Especially if I can make it solidify outward. I'm still just debating on design if you haven't noticed. G, Z, move it up, GY. Oops. SZ, move it up. And what I can even do here is take an edge, snap to edge, and just do something like that. I gotta do it by vertex here. Probably should have done it by vertex at the start. Because if I do it by vertex, I can grab this, put it there. And see now these objects are filling each other. And I'm basically, I wrote an extend, but the geometry is technically going to use a solidify right here. And what that'll do is once I put a material on it. So we got this rock, and then if you look inside, now if we edit this face and remove it, I believe it'll let me do that. No, I'm going to delete the face. So now we have solid inside and solid outside. That's what I wanted. And I believe this will just scale fine. There's a little bit of like artifacts in there, but that's because this is technically two faces, like you can see inside there, which is fine. I think I could do the same treatment with this. And grab, oh, this is actually all one object too. That's interesting. Okay, the U, I'm gonna flip the normals, and then I'm also gonna apply a solidify. And now we have inside fill and outside fill. Perfect. That's much cleaner. Okay. So now let's make this design. And it should be a lot easier now, especially because I believe I can extrude. And then, yeah, the faces don't actually. But I think, why can't I figure out the edge cut? There should be a way to make a loop cut. It's just like, I don't remember how. Either you got extrude, inset, bevel, loop cut. That's all I wanted right there. Perfect. And then I believe when you add a loop cut, yeah, you hold, and then I can do that. Perfect. Oops. Okay. That's all I wanted, because now I can hold Alt, click all those, and this, oops, click all these and that. And now I can do like, yeah, okay, this is what I wanted. I gotta remember these commands. It's been a while, you know? Do I have a reference object in here? I do not. Let's do that real quick. And GZ1. I think this is the size of a human. Or at least an elf. Might be a 2, actually. GZ2. I think it's closer to that. So one issue we're going to have with how small this is I don't think an ogre will fit. But now I can go all crazy with this little walkway. This feels a little big. Anyways, so now this object I can use to just walk along and test sizes and stuff. Even if this is too small, it's pretty easy, I think. Oh, I'll have to merge these two objects. That's not too hard though, because I believe I just click that and then I hit join. Some geometry artifacts happened, but yeah, these need to be merged. No, join. Could probably I think it's just a cleanup. Because like right now, if you look, oh, I already cleaned it. Perfect. So these objects are now combined, and I'm cool with that. I think I'm comfortable enough. I can just start doing this. And now that I remember loop cut, that's going to help too. So this is shrinking down. We may want to take this, move it down a little bit, you know, kind of keep that scale. But see, now I can grab this face and just like do cool stuff. Like we can move it up, and then we can move it down here, and then we can like shift it right. And we could even rotate it a little bit. See what I mean? And we could even make it like a winding tunnel, basically, so that you kind of have this escape down. Because I need to get really good at making this sort of stuff. We can widen that a little bit. We can expand here a little. We can collapse the roof a little, bring it in a little. You know, make it less geometry and more just like, you know, a cool little tunnel that you kind of walk through. And I'm going to go ahead and like really stretch this out. But before I do that, I'm going to double check it in game. So we're going to generate it again. We're going to hop in game. I'm being bombarded by messages. I do have a DungeonEQ dev box now, which I could arguably. Oh, it says it's down. Interesting. I'll have to go check that out later. But rebuild, let's go ahead and just speed it up. Boot it up, because it has all the geometry I need. But yes, I did set up a dev box yesterday. It's very loosely put together right now. Just enough to like test. I love that Gloomhold actually is populating now. All right, so we're going to go back to Soul Dungeon B. And as you see, my location's a little wonky because we want to go to 0, 0, 0. And let's see how this wheels. Yes. Oh, this is the old one still. Did we have a bug on generation? Yep. I was going to say that. Oops, I didn't mean to open it in Blender. I meant to open it in folder. There we go. So what happened? This modifier operation is not allowed from edit mode. Oh, are my solidifies breaking it? Very possible. Is it because when I exported, I'm in edit mode? Does that actually impact EQGZI? That doesn't feel like it should. Yep, it does. I remember someone mentioning that in Quail, or yeah, the Quail channel. I could actually fix that. Because what that error is, there's no reason for you to have to, export it when you're in. So if we go to zones, and we go to converter, what it is that we're applying modifiers. And I want to ensure the mode is object. Yeah, it even knew it exactly right when I went into that area. And we can verify this by just going into edit mode, saving, and trying to generate again. If it succeeds, we know that fixed it. Yep, that was easy. And we can actually double check it. I mean, it was an easy check. So we take this out, we try again, it fails. So perfect. We're definitely getting ready to cut a new release. In fact, EQGZI I have right here. So let's go up one directory, clone that into Visual Studio Code. And I don't know what changes I have committed or pending. Oof, I got a lot. Interesting. Wow, apparently in January 29th, I made 8.1, and I didn't even remember that. So today is 0910, and we're working on 182. And what we've done is a lot of junk. Apparently I updated, I have like pending work in my EQGI directory. So why would I think I was doing some visibility checks to clean it better. I also added models. And a new selection set style. I'm reviewing this, trying to figure out what I was doing. Because I didn't realize I had pending. I think I'll stash this and look at it later. because this looks like a pretty big undertaking and I'm not fully sure. Oh, look, I was doing GLTF. I added a join system. I was adding a new config system and adding in some Go. This is probably right before I started Quail. So let's stash. And we're going to call this 181. Will it stash all these? Perfect. So now I'm clean. I will have to start up Visual Studio to recompile the latest Quail. Not a big deal though. I doubt I even have the solution open anymore. Looks like it's right here though. Oh, I have a GUI and a CLI version. So if we build this, Copilot, I just want to compile. All right, so we have failures. Ooh. You know, something I don't like about Visual Studio is notice I have errors here, but it's not giving it on the error list. Like, I think it's because, yeah, Copilot stole focus, and so it never parsed the failures. But apparently standard string, I wonder if this is like a version bump. Also, why are we getting all these compile errors? I was hoping this would be a clean compile. Well, that's a whole other can of worms to work on later. For now, I'll keep focusing on EQGCI. I mean, I technically didn't change anything that would require compiling changes. All I'm doing is updating convert.py. So it's not like I have to necessarily, you know, patch the executables. This also may be a symptom that the Quail folks are suffering over here. Because somebody was mentioning that EQGCI won't work on some newer compiles, and that might actually help. All right, so here's the new variant. Of course, I put a person, which my human is a little large, but not bad. I think I should have put it in scale too. Let me take him out real quick and relog. That's probably the easiest. So you go away. Then recompile and load. Yeah, we're already up to 28 minutes. Not a huge deal, but yeah, let me share on here that I'm streaming. I guess I should mention DungeonEQ, map making stuff. There. I don't normally make these necessarily for like popularity or anything like that, but people do find it educational. Yeah, see, it gets too dang tiny, which makes sense. That object, I think, is a good reference size. I already know that, like, if I change my race to an ogre, which I don't know which one is ogre. Of course, I changed to an ogre, and I'm like, my size ogre. I should actually make an ogre character real quick. Just to test big-sized people, because they have to fit through here, because I'm not going to let them shrink until they enter the drop point. So I'll go ahead and make a... we're going to just call him Big Boy. You can be a berserker. Oh, I don't allow berserkers. You can be a Shadow Knight. Whatever. Okay, So now we can go ahead and zone over to Soul Dungeon B, go to 000, and we can use him as a reference too. Because, yeah, he ain't going to fit in there. And we can actually learn quite a bit about size with just this dude standing here. So we can tell that this needs to go up another, I don't know. I remember making this scale at one point, but it's been a while. So the human guy is about yay large. Can we, okay. And move him out of the way. So you figure that ogre size is roughly here, and its scale, I would say it's about there. And actually I would say more like that. I feel like that's about what he is. Let's check again. So he fits at this, and he has his arms like sticking out, which he does technically fit in. Yeah, see, this isn't wide enough. They're freaking big. I think they're more like this. And see, his head is technically larger. So I think this is the minimum size I can make things and have an ogre fit through it. So this is why ogres are going to be shrunk. Because that's a pain in the butt to work with, you know? So for the time being, though, I can go to orthographic. Come on. Give me the view I want. This works. So we want GZ, or wait, GX, and let's just scale it out so he's nice and comfy. And then Z up. And that should make it a lot more accommodating for this big ol' ogre. So even though we're going to have all these weird twists and turns, I have to keep referencing this guy and making sure he can actually fit in each one. So for the time being, I'm going to just now work on this and just make something. I'm probably going to make like a winding tunnel and then like a drop, and you know what I mean, give an experience of going down into the abyss. So let's just assume you're going to have this nice long drop like this, right? In fact, then we can do a loop cut, like somewhere like here. And then, so it's W. I don't know the loop cut hotkey. Anyways, so we're going down, we take a turn, and then we're going to go like, I can't do a super sharp turn unless I make multiple turns. So let's just do this though. Let's make it go down more. Let's make it go over more. Something like, oof, that's way too sharp on X. Or I guess Y. But what I can do is flange an edge on Y. Easy. And then even something kind of like that. Gonna give the, I know there's a way to actually cause a spiral, but this is fine. So now let's go even farther down. Let's turn it. Let's rotate it. Ooh. way too fast. Wait, not Shift Z. Rotate non-Z. Actually, rotate Z. Just kind of, yeah. This face is getting all wonky, but that's all right. It's just going to be a drop anyways. I kind of like this. So you like walk down, you do a spiral into the abyss, and then you just have a drop. I'll probably make just like a thin edge right here, and that'll be basically the last point. In fact, let's go ahead and loop cut down here, and then we can start building out the room in this design. So what we'll do, let's move this Z up. We can move it out. Take this one and do the same kind of thing. And the same kind of thing here. And the same kind of thing here. So you just have this drop that's going to be in the bottom here. But before I do that, I'm going to flange out all these based on this guy. Because everything's too dang small, as you can see here. Easiest way is probably take it aside and scale it down. I could even do it by edge, but I kind of want it to be uneven intentionally. Isn't there like a, you hit a button and then it's like shift and it goes to the other, whoa. That's interesting. It's fine if I do it by hand too. So basically we want to try to maintain this scale, which we are there. Now we'll do this one. Something like that, you see? It doesn't have to be perfect. We know that this thing is actually scaled a little too big, kind of intentionally. The big thing is, can we make it comfortable for an ogre to go down? And in theory, if I do this, it should be decent. Let's go down here. Something like this. And let's reorientate the cube. I want it, well, I mean, I can do this. Something like that even. Okay. And lastly, we can just kind of ensure this boxed area is equal on each side, so, or roughly, it doesn't have to be perfect. I think that's fine. Okay. So now we're going to do 2 loop cuts. One about here and one there. And we're going to basically take this part. Oops, I don't want loops, I want there. Take this part and we're going to drop it. Okay, so can I drop it just by GZing? I think that's going to cause everything to drop. Let me think about this. I could extrude. The problem with extruding is that the geometry is going to be gross. But you know what? Screw it. We're extruding out. So this is officially the drop. We probably should rotate it a bit and fix its orientation a little bit. So it's a proper drop, and then we're just dropping it down. Now, of course, this will have a face right here, so it won't actually let you walk through it. We can test that though real quick. Oh, it doesn't. Cool. So we're actually doing pretty good. We'll test this and see if an ogre can fall down that trap now. And then we'll fix the geometry after. All right, ogre. Time for you to test the trap. The ogre is sitting in the entrance. I need to fix that first. Turn you off. Save. Create EQG. I'm getting pinged all over the place. But I won't check them online. I can check them after stream. All right, big boy. So we got this nice little room, and so far, oh, okay, so the first turn is too small. And the second turn is too small. It's so small I can't even fit. Freaking ogres, I tell you, they're giant. So already this part needs to be flanged, I think on Z. What I'll do, I think I'll just expand that a lot. That should be fine. Just to make sure. Because I don't think it's a width problem, maybe. But we can test again. Ogres are freaking huge, dude. Okay. Oh, okay, so it is a width problem too right there. And there. He's making it though. Oh, nope, he got stuck. All right, so, geez, dude. Let's, Obviously we can just flange out this and this. That is pretty dang tight. Is this the normal exit point? Let's see. So you'd go here. Yeah, see, this is getting all wonky looking. It's because everything is... kind of want this to be like a... or if nothing else, I can do this. I could slice it and then move it, you know? In fact, we could just do a knife, put it about here, then take this face and move it down X so that there's like a turn. We can rotate it on Z a little bit. Woo, a little bit. There we go. And then we can go down more on X and a little bit on Y. Make it feel like there's still more to go, but there's no way to cross because it drops into infinity. I really got to fix these faces in a sec here. Okay, so I think we've expanded everything enough. It's worth another reload. Just makes me think of fat guy in a little coat. Whenever I see an ogre trying to fit through a tight tunnel. Okay, so we move it in here. We go down. Oh crap, it's already too small again. All right, so where did I screw up next? It went here, and it went here, and I think even at this point, I think that's where we're at. A little hard to tell actually with the... Can we make it just a little bit more? Okay, so yeah, it's like right at this point, we're starting to get too small again. So let's grab some edges, drop it down. I could also raise the roof a little bit here. I think this roof might need to be raised a bit too. Just with how the ogre works, and we're going to try the drop as well. The drop is too small too. Okay, that is because the bottom is very small. So let's take an edge and expand this out significantly. Honestly, the whole drop is a little small. Let's do this. Can I loop? Actually, let's undo that. Loop select and get all the mesh objects like that. So now it's more proper drop for an ogre size. Okay. Go back to the beginning, please. The rest is looking better now. I'm really glad that I'm going to give them shrink, because it would be annoying to make everything at the ogre scale. Everything is just ginormous. All right, big boy. Are you going to make it this time? You went down good. Oh, and there's the drop. That actually worked pretty solid. I'm going to probably make the drop longer. Let's do it one more time. Oh, that was interesting. I looked up. I need to make sure that like here, it has a feeling that you can actually go over there. So, all right, so we go down here. You can make the jump right now with an ogre. Interesting. So I'll fix that too. Basically, we need to take you. Honestly, we need to take this whole edge. Yeah, there we go. And then move it so that the drop is not something you easily can just, jump over. I'm happy to raise this up just to kind of give that illusion, though, that you might. And then this, I'm going to like seriously just drop it. See that? I want it to be like, it's going to kill you drop. In fact, I'm okay with dying testing this, because eventually I'll have a zone line that'll connect you to... in fact, I could do that right now, the Gloomhaven zone line. I thought I actually already did it, but we can double check that while we're logging in. Yeah, see, Soul Dungeon B does have an orientation to this. All right, so one more time. We'll go down here. We have a little winding part. Oh, this is an update. Did we have a bug? Or if this did, this is like, no, this is too small. This should be a much bigger drop. Maybe I'm, It created it. We'll try it one more time. It's also possible I'm patching, but I shouldn't be. So let's add the zone point too while we're talking about this. This is the old zone point, and we're going to go ahead and move it. Whoa. Up to... there. Obviously it won't be there yet, but if I die, it's okay. I don't think it fixed it. If this is the fix, oh yeah, that's definitely fixed there. Notice if I have a drop that's too far, it actually becomes solid, interestingly. I wonder if I use like a knife, if that'll fix it. So like if I loop like this, will that be enough to tell it to basically, you know, actually render this geometry? Because I think the triangle is just too big and it's just crying, is the problem. This still feels like you can almost make it though. So I might actually work on that a little bit. Let's go in and go back to select mode, go to edge. You know what I could do? Granted, now that there's all these faces, It's all right. I can just select these by hand. We're going to make this even farther. We're going to raise up the Z a bit. And, you know, give the illusion there's more content. Wait. All right, so we're going to confirm if the drop works now and if I expanded it enough yet. Okay, that definitely feels far enough. And we still have the solid problem. Interesting though. Why? Why does long drops not render? I mean, EQGZI, I don't know if it would even tell me anything about this. What other alternatives could I do? I mean, I could go ahead and knife vertical cuts. You know? Worst case, I can put faces down the route that are invisible. You know what I mean? But that is super weird. I wonder what causes that. I want my drop. Worst case, I can make it a small drop, but that's not as cool. Okay, let's try again. Well, I'm going down farther, kind of. There's also a weird edge right there. Yeah, see this? It's like the geometry does not like... I wonder if there's a minimum Z that you can go, and I'm going past that, and that's what's killing it. Because if you look at a zone, like Soul Dungeon B, where short name equals Soul Dungeon B, there is a minimum Z somewhere. I think. I don't see it in here. Yeah, Underworld is negative 148. Let's make this like negative 5,000. And then I think I can just camp. Oops. I'll just camp to character select, and let's see if that fixes the negative Z issue. I don't think I need to restart the whole server or anything. Just camping and reloading the zone may be enough. We'll see. Perfect. And now I fall to my death. Ah, oh shit. Unless the zone works. Unless the zone works. Nope. That only gave me 2 points of damage? How? Maybe it's because I'm GM. We gotta try again. I want to die. Oh, there is some bugs here. Like, you see that right there? He likes to crouch. How do I... Wait, why is he crouching? I think he's hitting these corners and thinking that is a crouchable event. Because of... I think what I need to do is make sure that the rooftop is taller orientation than the ground. Even just doing this may fix it. Okay. This point actually is a little wonky. Maybe like that. Looks a little cleaner, you know? I don't think that'll impact in-game too much. I might work on... Oh, I can remove all these cuts now, I think, which will be nice. Come on, go faster. Faster, 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 faster. There we go. Okay, so 2 dissolve edges. Okay. Because that's going to make UV editing easier. So let's try again. I fixed the edging. Now this should work. If this one works, I'll actually texture this properly. So we're logging in. I'm going to make sure I generate. I think I did, but... Yeah, we're going to go ahead and potentially have a successful walkthrough. So we're going down and down and down. Why did that not cause a single point of damage? That is interesting. Can't say I expected that. But it did work. Everything's happy. What I'm going to now do is go inside, probably go into UV editing mode, do the same thing. Come over here. I'm just going to start fixing the inner textures all over here. Why are we on normals? That's a little weird. Is this the high res one, by the way? Yeah. And it's the JPEG. So I might change this to rock. I'm not sure where damage is. I thought it was client side, Anorian, but not super worried about that right now. Let's go to Gloomhold. Let's grab rock. And we're going to put this in here. And we're going to go ahead and do a mass swap. In fact, I didn't ever call this anything, so we're going to go ahead and call this rock. And then we're going to open up rock. Perfect. And now we can start going in and scaling this. It's not the best texture, but it works. And it's not like I need this perfect. I'll try to keep it kind of consistent though, at least like the scale. So that the experience is not too breaking of immersion. So basically I just take each piece and I kind of scale them so I don't even care if they tile really. Yeah, something like that is fine. This guy though, he needs his Y to be shrunk a lot, a lot, a lot. I know there's better ways to do this, but in fact, this one needs a Q project there, because otherwise it looks wonky. Heck, I should just be doing Q project, scale. All right, so come down here. This is looking better. Grab this face. Scale, that's fine. Go down a little bit more. Honestly, that's fine. Could probably fix that a little bit. But no, cube. I think there's a way where I can like multi-select and then just... No, they all like... Actually, I think that did work. Maybe. Yeah, it did. Screw it. Yeah, no, I don't want to do that because look, it did everything. Those ones I'm gonna have to do some TLC. I feel though that like if I select a couple of these, no, see they stretch like badly. I want them to be closer to this. Fine. It's not end of the world. It's just a little tedious. It definitely feels like your, you know, EverQuest style though, just even with this. No. Hey, go there. All right. Getting close. Even though this will never be seen. So now we got this little cube area. A lot of these objects look decent now. These guys, though, they need some TLC. I think I could actually select all 4 of these, do a cube projection, and then I can scale their Y significantly. Okay, that's getting too thin. That's too far. Something closer to that. See, now it gives a better illusion. Still a little stretched. Something about there. Cool. Did I miss any? I don't think so. This is looking a lot better already. These 4 could probably use it. Kind of the same treatment. And these 4 as well. I actually like that this edge over here has that certain illusion to it because it, yeah. The guy on the bottom needs fixed. That's fine. All right, so we've textured it. And actually the outside, because we did solidify, doesn't look bad either. So definitely solidifies the solution. Even if you get that weird glitchiness, it's not too bad. Cool. I could flange out the outer part here. Maybe I will actually. Let's take this right here. Whoop. And we're going to scale it up even more. And then we're going to knife it with a loop cut like there. Then we're going to take these faces and we're going to scale them. Oop. Why does... Oh, it's because... Can I extrude? No, that wouldn't work. What about... I take these faces and I scale. Nope. What about these edges? see, that's still impacting. That would do the illusion. And then I can always go in with a UV editor, grab this face alone and scale it up. And the idea is then when you look up, it gives the illusion you've already fallen a lot. That's all I was after. And I gotta fix these again. Yeah, see. That'll give that illusion, I'm pretty sure. Cool. Let's test it. Okay, so we're having issues with the zone point not working. I don't know if we ever figured that why. So this is ATP 001. Let's go ahead and generate again, and then let's go ahead and hit debug. Then if we go to regions, we can see 001 is a zone line at that orientation. That looks fine. I remember we were testing a bunch of stuff, and we did figure out 001 works. It's all right. This is not the final zone anyways, because we're not on the dev server yet, so I'm not going to fret over it too much just yet. But let's go ahead and test it. Make sure the textures look decent in game. And if they do, we're on. I think the entrance area may be more or less done. Yeah, I like this texture more. And with the Soul Dungeon fog effects, I'm going to probably change the color to like a purple. But yeah, you can see how this gives that illusion. Though it's not a great one. In fact, I don't know if yeah, maybe it did. All right, so we're not getting the issue of crouching anymore when you run along the edges now, which is perfect. It's a good thing to note that you want. And yeah, it does feel like a little rock formation, you know what I mean? Like, I'm enjoying the geometry now. It feels, you know, EverQuest old school, that you're going down a little tunnel. And this is okay. I could technically clean up these ones. Like that one feels really stretched for some reason, while the rest don't. But oh, that's fun. It's interesting that you don't take fall damage, though. But that's fine. It's just interesting. I wonder if that's like a flag or something. But cool. I won't mess with this too much because that's going to be edits that I'll do on my dev server pretty soon. I think that's a good stopping point. We're an hour and 14 in. We did quite a bit. We're now we ended up improving the main Soul Dungeon B zone, which I think was worthwhile. It's good to have a little bit more solid starting zones since everyone's going to be going through that. Cleanup. Oops, caps. So even though I say Gloomhold, this is technically Soul Dungeon B improvements on this one, but it's all right. I may work on a EQGZI patch a little later. I don't think there's much else to say on the stream. So if you've been watching, I hope you enjoyed. I'm hoping to have DungeonEQ at least in a log-inable state by maybe today. We'll see how much progress I make. I keep getting distracted, you know. I have an NPC injector I've been working on. that takes, injects, actually did fix these inject errors. But it's a pretty cool little system because you now can make NPCs by editing. Oh, I don't even see the NPC file in here. But like rules, they're just YAML now, and items is YAML as well. So all you have to do is edit lines, and it'll inject it as SQL for you. And this lets you version it easier so that you can see, you know, the history of a file in each change. So should be a cool little mechanic. I'm calling it Yakuku, a made up word. Still work in progress, but this, you can see I've been working on it pretty heavy in the last 24 hours. And it does in theory work. I just need to fix my dev server to verify everything's clean. I am also cleaning up character create, so you always start in Soul Dungeon B. So anyways, cool stuff. Oh, there's actually some injected data in here that I'll probably have to clean out. Interesting. Anyways, all right, guys, have a good one. Hope you enjoyed, and take care.